Mr. Pooler.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. And I'd like to thank Mr. Fox for, with this very technical and difficult issue, providing us with the language ahead of time so that we could look at it on the staff level and respond. And we appreciate it when on these technical things. I am now going to ask you not to support Mr. Fox's, and I hope he appreciates that too. There's a standard way that the assessor does taxes, and these are the lists of the things, the expenses he looks at when he does those taxes. As you will see, they are things like legal, electricity, payroll, reserves for replacement, utilities, et cetera, et cetera. We do not in any way figure in, when we figure your property taxes, how much you pay in your state or federal taxes. It just doesn't come into the equation. We don't look at your taxes. We don't have access to your taxes. We're not expert in those taxes. We don't want to be expert in your income taxes. It's not something the town has any business getting involved in. We're not very good at it. We don't know what all those numbers are. And frankly, there are many more ways to manipulate federal income and state income taxes than there are to manipulate state property taxes. Property taxes, we know how to tax you, and we promise that we will as much as we can. So I just want to point out the scale of the numbers we're talking about. These are the slides I was looking at before. This is the scope down here in this corner of the scale that we're talking about. Not really hundreds of thousands of dollars, but these small amounts. And so I just want to reiterate that for us in the finance department, in the assessing department, when we are looking at giving a tax break based on local taxes, we want to look at the information that we deal with year in and year out. We don't think that this amendment is practical because, after all, if you think about when you file your income taxes, and if you deduct your property taxes, what you're deducting are the property taxes from the previous year. This tries to move that all up into the same year, and that's really not going to work. You see the assessor shaking his head. I don't know how to do that, he's saying, and he's a very smart guy. So, with all due respect, I think that what this will do is try to give a break on the affordable units. That is what we're getting at. That is what this tax break does. It's just on the difference between affordable and not affordable. It's a relatively small amount of number, and it's a number that we know how to deal with, and I would urge town meeting not to support the amendment. Thank you.
Thank you. So our discussion is on whether or not to accept the amended motion. And when we finally come to a vote, that's what the vote will be on.